Hi everybody, this is Kelly Oblak for this week's Free Flow Wednesday. I am actually going to use a sketch today, and this is a sketch from the Stuck Sketches November 15th challenge. The big difference is I'm going to use 2 4x6 photos instead of the long strip of photos that were featured in the original sketch. So I am going to mat that, or my 2 4x6 photos on the yellow grid paper there from Simple Stories Summer Vibes. It's called Yellow Wood / Grid. And even though I'm narrating this the day after Thanksgiving, and you'll see this the following week, the very last day of November, I'm still scrapping summer photos because I scrap out of order. I scrap what inspires me, and I do love these photos. It's of my nephew and his wife in the top, and I was taking a really cute photo of them, and my sister photobombed them. So that's what this is about. Anyway, I'm choosing to use that aqua grid paper as my background. And that is, again, Simple Stories Summer Vibes, is pretty much most everything in here is. And it's the teal wood / grid paper. And then I'm going to use that strip of Hello paper. That is Summer Vibes Oh Hello. And then I'm going to put in that strip of floral paper, which is Summer Vibes Pop Fizz. Now, the original sketch only had 2 pieces of paper on the vertical there. I'm going to use 3 because I decided I wanted a little bit of pink in there because my niece is wearing a pink top and my nephew has some orange on, so the pink just really helped the whole look there. And then that pink paper is Summer Vibes, the pink wood grid. So now you get to see what the back of all the grid papers look like with this particular line. And this is a line that was not summer 2016, it was summer 2015, but I bought quite a bit of it. I loved it, and I still have some of it left, so I'm using it. I didn't buy a summer collection this year because of that. That journaling card there is from October Afternoon, from the summertime collection, and those are called the memory cards. And now I'm taking just a piece of the back of that wood paper to use as a banner strip. That's what I'm thinking I'm going to do. And then I also chose that blue floral paper from Summer Vibes, and it's called #selfie. So I have my basic sort of layout done, and now I'm thinking about maybe how I want to embellish, but I want to think about what my embellishments are going to look like before I glue anything down, because if I need a larger mat of vertical strips, once I decide what I'm going to do for my embellishments, that will be hard to do once everything's glued down. This way I can increase it or decrease it as I need it. And then the other thing too is, depending on what I decide to do, I know I want to do a cluster on the left there at the journaling card. I might need to cut those journaling cards shorter or longer depending on what I do as well. So right now I'm playing with quite a few embellishments, and not all of them are going to end up on the layout here. The chipboard and those clouds I'm going to play with for quite a bit, and I'm not going to keep it on there. That August tab and the green circle sticker there are from October Afternoon Daily Flash Summertime Double Take stickers. That's where those come from. And that Fun in the Sun is also from that same sticker sheet. I'm going to play with that, and I really wanted to use those puffy clouds from October Afternoon Summertime, but they just weren't working. And I thought about these brads from Simple Stories Summer Vibes, but they were just too big. The pieces I had left were too big. The chipboard I've put aside for now because I'm not sure that that's going to work. And I'm still kind of playing with what I'm going to back that cluster with the cloud and the fun in the sun. And what's going to happen is I'm going to decide that I don't like the cloud on there. So still playing a little bit, trying to figure this out, trying to think, do I want to move that green circle behind the banner there? What am I going to do? And I do want to get an arrow on that page. and the photo where my sister photobombed their photo, because her head is just sticking up right behind their shoulders. You can kind of barely see her. So I wanted to really emphasize that, and that's what I'm going to do. All right. Now again, I'm looking at another different label here. What kind of labels do I want? What am I doing here? Sometimes we play around a lot thinking about florals, but that floral was just too big of a scale compared to everything else. And then I found that little sticker there from the Summer Vibes sticker sheet, which is the fundamental cardstock stickers from Summer Vibes there. And I like that. The scale was right, and it just felt like it was right. And then I'm going to use a yellow label there from the Summer Vibes, or not Summer Vibes, from the October Afternoon Summertime little label sheet. And now I feel like everything feels like the sizing is right. I have the clusters mostly down. I'm, still thinking about switching things out here and there, but they're enough in my mind, enough set that I think I can put the other pieces down. And I'll play with these I am inking the edges of everything with my Memento Dewdrop in gray flannel, which I tend to use quite a bit. It's a nice dark gray ink if you use it direct to paper, and it's a nice light ink if you use a foam applicator. And as I said with this, one of the big variations again with this sketch is that I used 4x6 photos instead of a photo strip of photos, and I added one more vertical strip just because the photos are so wide. And what I did there is I totally forgot that I didn't really like, I think it said Ready, Set, Go on that journaling card. I liked the color of it, but I didn't exactly love the sentiment, especially all the words with the hello paper right behind it. And I'd forgotten that oftentimes October Afternoon, if you flip it over, that side is blank. So as I was inking, I saw that and I'm like, oh, I can do that. So I flipped it over and inked it again so that I could use the plain side. And now I'm just trying to decide what my banners are going to look like here. I left that yellow banner on there just to try to figure that out a little bit. I'm going to ink the edges, and then once I decide how long it's going to be, and I left a lot of extra space there so that I could play with the length. And I can just hide it under the photos there, obviously. I want the bottom banner to just be just a little bit shorter, but I still want it to be out past the left edge of the journaling card. And that helps with the balance of that cluster, is the reason that I'm doing that. Is the best way to explain that, I guess. And now I have my Fun in the Sun banner, speech bubble there. I was actually going to cut off the tail of that speech bubble and I forgot to do it, so it stayed. And it looks fine. It's just sometimes if it's a speech bubble, I like it appearing above people's heads versus somewhere else. It's just my thing. I can be kind of literal. All right, and what I'm doing there is I'm just putting some foam tape up on that sticker to get some dimension into the layout. Everything right now is very flat, and that is something that's bothering me, is that everything feels flat and basically papery. So I know I'm going to need to bring in some different textures, and I might want some more height here. I'm not quite sure what that's going to be. And I'm looking at those brads to think about a different texture and more height, but they're just too big. So I'm moving on to the other cluster at the top there, where I'm going back to putting that tab that says August and the little green circle there. So now I'm thinking, okay, I need another piece and up in that so that I have at least 3 elements, because the 2 elements just looked kind of funny. And I went back to that Fundamentals cardstock sticker sheet and found a blue flower. and I accidentally stuck it to my desk, so I'm going to use my Cricut spatula to take it off. And I'll put some foam tape underneath that as well to get a little dimension behind it. And there I go. A little coffee this morning. It's, as I said, it's the day after Thanksgiving here in the United States, so it's a really lovely leisurely day. I'll be starting to decorate for Christmas a little bit later, but I thought I'd get this voiceover done first. All right, I'm gluing down a couple of little edges, and now I'm going back again and looking at that chipboard, but it was just too bright and too solid and too big. I don't know if that makes any sense. So I went back to my chipboard from the Simple Stories Summer Vibes collection, and I found these flowers. So it's the chipboard sticker sheet there. I found those flowers, and I really liked how they look because they're white, so they don't call too much attention to themselves, but they do a nice job of adding just that little bit extra. I was thinking about adding in another piece up in the top, but I don't like that because it unbalances the top. It adds a fourth element, and balance tends to be in odd numbers unless you do things side to side. So I'm still thinking about dimension, but I haven't figured out completely what that's all going to be. I have that one chipboard piece down in the bottom cluster, but I want more dimension on the page somewhere. But first I'm going to go through and I'm going to work on the title, and the title is going to be A Mom Photobomb. And I want to put it on the photo where she is photobombing them. There's a lot of space on the Gulf green there in both of the photos. So I thought, well, yeah, I don't often put titles right onto the photos, but I thought, why not in this particular case? I'm experimenting a little bit with what letters I'm going to use. And I remembered I have these pink Ellie Studio, this pink Ellie Studio Alpha here. And it is the light pink letters and number stickers. So be careful because there is a pink. This one's the light pink. These are great little letters. They make nice subtitles, and then they also make really nice titles when you have just a small space like this one is. And a long word, because Photobomb's a fairly long word. Although I did use a ton of O's on this one. So I'll have to be MacGyvering Q's with this alpha pretty soon. The one hard part is as I was doing this, I needed to take out the center of all these letters as I did it. And because it's going down on a photo, once it's down, it's down. You're not, you know, you don't get to move these. So you kind of have to be sure. So if you're a little bit anal about that, be careful when you do it, or just don't do it. And I figured, you know, it's something different. I really love how this title looks against that big swath of green that is the Gulf green there. My nephew is a very good golfer, and so is my sister as well. And his wife doesn't golf that much, but because he loves it so much, she's starting to learn how, and she actually has her own set of clubs. And it's really cute to see her kind of developing a love for that game as well, because my nephew loves it so much. And I was thinking about calling it Mom Photobomb, and then decided it needs to be A Mom Photobomb, just because of spacing over the photobomb word is so long. I wanted a little bit more length in the part of the title that was above it. So use just a, you know, A helps there. And I love how that frames them in the photo there. Okay, so I'm just kind of, what I was doing there is I was looking for the date, because I couldn't remember exactly what the date was, and I wanted to put that on the little yellow label sticker there. So I'm using my Chamel gray pen, and it's kind of on its last legs. It's not very dark anymore. I'm going to need to find a good gray pen, which reminds me I should probably check that out in my Black Friday shopping today. I'm probably going to shop at Cherry on Top today. And I know Ellie's Studio has a Black Friday special. Although by the time you see this, it won't matter. That's all the Black Friday shopping I'm going to do. That and a little freckled fawn couple kits that I got. All right, I told you, back to the layout, I told you I was looking for more dimension, and I saw that there were more of these chipboard flowers, so I thought, oh, I could put some on top of that journaling card, because it was just looking very bland to me. So now I have a little bit more dimension on the page, and I'm really liking that. And then I'm adding one over there by the arrow, so the arrow is not just hanging out by itself. And then I'm looking at my Simple Stories, some of my enamel dots there. Those enamel dots are from Posh, and I just chose to use some of the pink ones and some of the aqua colored ones that match this particular layout. So I kind of kept the colors. I put a pink one on the blue and then didn't like it. I decided I wanted tone on tone so they didn't call as much attention to themselves. So I'm going to change the ones on the bottom cluster there to the aqua, and then the stuff on the pink wood paper is all the pinky colored enamel dots. And that's the end of the layout. Here's the still shot and a couple of detail shots. Hope you are all well, and I'll be back with another Crafty Maven layout in December. Talk to you soon.